Imposter syndrome, also called perceived fraudulence, involves feelings of self-doubt and personal incompetence that persist despite your education, experience, and accomplishments. And you finally connect to the fact that you are called, that you are chosen, that you are the one that will break the generational curses in your family. You are the one that will graduate from college. You are the one that will start that business. You are the first millionaire that your family will see. You are that I am, I am, I am. Welcome to another moment with joy. I'm so grateful that you guys tuned in with me again. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. I know you're watching. I see you guys. I read your comments. And I'm always full of gratitude when you guys respond and you interact with me. And I get to comment back and I get to hear how these moments have helped you. They help me keep going. They help me bring more things to light. And I just can't appreciate and thank you guys enough. I love you. Okay? Today, I want to talk about something that we've all felt. We all feel it. And some of you are probably feeling it right now. If you've had to say, I don't know what I'm doing here. I do not belong here. How did I get here? I am not qualified to do this. Stop it today. Don't say it any longer. It's called imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome. All of us have felt it. All of us have gone through it. All of us have battled with the thought of, I'm not qualified. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be talking to these people because others have told us that we were unqualified. Okay, so let's dive into it. Imposter syndrome. In this one, I'm going to be reading a lot of notes. So I'm going to be looking at my phone because I don't want to miss anything important. And in my study time, I write notes down. And I really want you guys to get this because I've had a ton of clients say, I don't know if I'm qualified. And they have bachelor's, master's, PhDs, and beyond. Doctors, surgeons, people who are qualified in their field still feel unqualified and still go back to school to learn more because they say, go to school some more. You got to get a better degree to make more money. Everybody deals with it. You're not alone. Imposter syndrome. I really hope they don't find out that I'm really not supposed to be here. That's what imposter syndrome will say. It is say, I don't have the degrees that they have. Why did they choose me? It'll say, please, Lord, don't let them find me out. Don't let them know that I'm just working on grace and favor. That's what imposter syndrome will do. Imposter syndrome is showing up at a certain place in your journey and looking around and taking inventory, and you're like, I'm not supposed to, I don't belong here. And you're looking at everybody else where you are and you're saying, but they do. They're qualified. I know that they are. I listen to them. I've learned from them. They're qualified. Imposter syndrome will make you feel inferior when that it's far from the truth. What else will imposter syndrome do? If you're experiencing this right now, you're not alone. Maybe this is your first time feeling it. Maybe this is your first time hearing the voice of I don't belong. But it won't be your last. As long as you go on this journey of evolving, of changing, of growing, you'll always hit that point where you're like, oh snap, I really don't know what to do. This is all new to me. And understand when you start asking yourself those questions, am I supposed to be here? What am I supposed to do? That is a natural human response to doing something that you've never done before. When God starts to enlarge our territory and give us the things that we're desiring, and most times we pray those prayers of, God, I want this, I want to be this, I want to be this. And when those things show up in our existence, we forget who we are. We forget. that we are created in this image and we are what we say we are, no matter the credentials. Now, I'm not saying go and work on a human body if you're not a surgeon. Don't go cut nobody open. However, if you know that God has called you to the surgery room, go and do the necessary steps that it takes to be there. Okay? And that'll help you guys with that imposter syndrome. I can't do it. I can't do it. God has gifted us and skilled us with the abilities to do things that we're not qualified for. It's called favor, and it's fair. I always say that favor is so fair. It's so fair. When this feeling shows up, when imposter syndrome shows up, when you start to hear those voices tell you that you don't belong, you have to quickly take inventory of those feelings. That doubt, that fear, whatever that thing is, take inventory. Start saying, why do I feel this way? And then in those moments, you'll start to see where you need work. It's not to say who you aren't. It's to show you where you're going. It's to help you prepare for where you're going. It's to help you see the areas that you do need to work on. Because we all have to work on areas. We all need to grow. We're all building and growing together. Sit in the silence with these feelings. Sit in the silence with your doubt. Sit in the silence with your fear. And really start to tap into why they're there. Don't run. Don't stop. Don't feel less than. Figure out how you can become better. You can listen to the plans that God has for you. You can start to see those plans the way that God sees those plans and how he sees you. And then you can receive the benefits of that. Once you sit in the silence with your fear and doubt and take all that to God and be like, this is what I have. I don't know exactly what to do. And really trust the plan. And that plan comes in silence. It doesn't come when you're moving. Like, you got to sit down. Okay? Walk in faith and know that this imposter syndrome is a signal that you're human. It's not to say that you're not qualified. The voice is not the truth. That's number one. Let me put that out there. Imposter syndrome is not the truth. It's not. Imposter syndrome, what does it say? Do I have what it takes? And that's what imposter syndrome says. Do I have what it takes to be here? You've been meditating for 10 years. You've taken meditative classes. You've gotten certified in meditation. And they ask you to come do a meditation for doctors in the workplace. And you say, I'm not qualified to do this because they have degrees. They're doctors. They are qualified in the body and the brain and how these cells and everything works. That is a physical job. Physical. That is our career. That's what we do. That's what they're known as, a doctor. But they're a real person up under that doctor label. There's a spirit up under that doctor label that you have skill and ability to touch. And it may seem small to you. You may seem unqualified to you. But to God is like, and to the world and to different people, you could be meditating with a doctor and connecting some dots for them that they didn't even know they could connect. They didn't know that they could actually create space to breathe. But they know how to work on a human body. It doesn't make everybody working together in their lane, in their giftings, makes this world go round. It makes it whole. So don't disqualify yourself based on a degree or qualifications. Flow in the vein and the purpose and the calling that God put on your life. It'll open doors. It'll put you in rooms that you wouldn't imagine you'd be in. I'm telling you, it's happening in my life, okay? Imposter syndrome. I'm going to read the definition for you guys. Imposter syndrome, also called perceived fraudulence, involves feelings of self-doubt and personal incompetence that persist despite your education, experience, and accomplishments. To counter these feelings, you might end up working harder or holding yourself to ever higher standards. That's what imposter syndrome is. And when you are consumed with that, you could even be getting an award for something that you've done hard work that you put in, and you cannot see it. And I have a few friends that have done big and marvelous things that I could never dream of myself doing. And they've accomplished them, succeeded, overdid whatever I, in my little brain, could do, right? And they cannot celebrate themselves because they don't feel like they're at a place to celebrate. Every accomplishment that you set out for yourself, celebrate it. If you're a painter and you sold a painting and that painting paid your bills, celebrate. Show gratitude. If you're a writer and you've been trying to write a book for 5 years and you finally wrote that book, but you haven't got it published yet, celebrate the fact that you finished writing the book and you're about to get it published. And then when you get it published, celebrate the fact that you wrote the book and you got it published. And then when it gets in the stores, celebrate the fact that you wrote the book, you got it published, and it got in the stores. Every step deserves your attention, your gratitude, every step along this journey. And so many times we don't take the time to look at what we've done because we not where we see the end result. The destination be the goal when that's not the goal, y'all. I have a short story, and I'm not going to say her name yet because she'll definitely come on and tell her story. But she's a young hairstylist, and we were talking, and she's in between salons, in between what products to sell, in between what labels, what they should look like, what my branding, what my marketing should look like. And she began to compare herself to other people on social media. And imposter syndrome starts to step in at that point because at this point, the salon she's in is about to close down and she needs a new salon to go to. Me and my faith, I know she's all right, but everybody's not there yet. So I allowed her the space to talk, and she began to talk about how she has to move to a new salon. The salon is in a better area. It has better traffic. It has all the things that she's been praying about. And she's still scared to move there. How many of y'all, God says, here you go, it's what you asked for, and we're still afraid to move there? Normal. It's normal to be sensitive and courageous at the same time, scared and courageous it's normal. What we pray for, we're going to get. That's number one. You ask for it, you're going to get it. Whether imposter syndrome show up or not. The new salon that she wants to work at, she's going to be working at. Although she was talking to me as if she wasn't working. I don't really know if she's going to be working there. So imposter syndrome, when you there's a new salon that she's gonna work in, and she already talks as if she really doesn't know if she wants to move there after she says she wants to go to a new salon. All the products that she's selling, they're selling, but in her life she feels like they're not selling. They're beautiful products, oils that I use daily. They're amazing, and the only way she's going to sell those products is if she believes that those products are going to sell. But if imposter syndrome is consuming us, then it takes us back to who we were. It takes us back to that place of, how do I put it? The old place, the old us that wasn't fruitful, wasn't multiplying, right? And imposter syndrome literally takes away the moments and the things that we've nurtured. It takes away from the things that we've watered. It takes away from all the hard work that we put in to get to this point. Because her past wasn't pretty. It's becoming beautiful. Imposter syndrome will say, you can't become who you're becoming. That's imposter syndrome. You can't become who you're becoming. And how does that sound? I can't become who I'm becoming, meaning who I'm becoming can't really be stopped unless I stop it. Only I can control that. And imposter syndrome will show up in the worst time after you done, I'ma sell these oils, I'ma do this business, I'ma start this job, I'ma go into my first day as a registered nurse and I'ma kill it. And imposter syndrome will show up Well, you actually need more credentials to do that. You can't sell those oils because such and such selling more oils than that and she got more followers than that. Get off social media. Take a break. Tap into your business plan, tap into your ideas, and silence the voice of that imposter. You're not a fraud. You were called to be where you are. You pushed to be where you are. You prayed to be where you are. You've cried. Lord, I want to be better. I want better. I want to support my family, my friends. I want to do this. And you'll be standing on the stage helping people get to where you are and still feel unqualified. So today, we're silencing the voices that tell us we don't belong and everybody else does. We're silencing them. We're not gonna give thought to them. We're ignoring that voice. Joy, how can I silence the voice of the imposter syndrome? How can I get rid of this thing? And the truth is, I don't know if we can get rid of it, but it definitely gets quieter. One thing I can say is, I remember in the studio, I used to go to the studio a lot and record with different groups and different artists. And for a while, it wasn't working out. I was singing like I was on stage. Like it was horrible. And one thing I had to learn was somebody told me, it's a difference between singing on stage and singing in the studio. So that was the first step, because I was like, they don't like the way I sound. Far from the truth. It's not what they were saying. So what I did was, instead of stopping, I called an engineer friend of mine, and this engineer friend of mine allowed me the opportunity to come in his studio and literally record every single day for about 2-3 weeks. I wanted to know what I sounded like in the studio. I wanted to know how to use my voice, how to change different tones and textures and things. Like, I just needed to learn the equipment that I was using. I needed to learn the space in which I was trying to evolve in. I needed to learn the things of that arena. Because of course I was singing in church. I was screaming my lungs out. And then when I got in the studio, I learned that I didn't have to use any of those things. So it was 2 different spaces that I wanted to occupy. And I had to learn how to do those things. Imposter syndrome stopped me for a second because I didn't think I was qualified to sing in the studio for a very long time until I got over it. So your confidence is built when you take that thought, take inventory about it, and find out where you need to work on. Find out what you need to work on. Find that area in which you can perfect. Find out where you flow naturally. Find out where there is ease. There's no pressure to be. There's no outline. You could just show up and be you. Find those things. That's what silences the voice of the imposter syndrome. You'll start to hear it less and less once you become very confident in what you know is true, which is, I am powerful. I am qualified. I am supposed to be in this room. Life coaches, we go get certifications, we go take these classes, and I'm talking to myself. I'm not only talking to the other life coaches out there, but because we're not therapists, imposter syndrome sets in and says, you're not qualified to tell someone or help somebody or guide somebody to their better selves. Like, I've heard that a million times. Life coaches and therapists are not the same. Don't go to a life coach, go to a therapist. And it has stopped me from saying that I'm a life coach for a long time. And I've been certified for a minute. But imposter syndrome will set in. And it got me thinking, like, well, maybe they're right. Maybe because I'm not a therapist, I shouldn't be doing this work. It's a lie. When I post testimonies of people's lives being changed, people learning to love themselves, that lets you know that the purpose and the call on your life is supposed to be. It belongs. There's a space for it. You can't listen to other people's views of you and other people's fears and doubts and put them to yours. Make them yours. Nah, that don't belong to me. And you can say that today. I am supposed to be here, and your doubt doesn't belong to me. I'm supposed to be where I'm supposed to be, and this is it. The I am sent me. Moses, boom, in the Bible. Moses even did it, y'all. It's one of my favorite Bible stories. Moses hid. He murdered someone. Long story short, I'm going to condense it. He murdered someone, and God still chose him. Chose to use him. And he battled with God in a few verses like, the Egyptians not going to listen to me. And they not even going to listen to me because I stutter. I have a speech impediment. What do you mean you want me to go tell somebody something? I can't even talk to myself half the way good. God, and Moses was really battling with God. Like, you chose the wrong one. And God be so cool with it, y'all. God be so cool because we be all frantic. I can't do this. Why would you call me to do this? I said I want to do this, but now you pushing me to greater, and I can't deliver a whole people from Pharaoh. And God just be like, I'm with you. So who do I say sent me when I go over there and I'm looking at Pharaoh, God, and I'm like, God said, let his people go. Who? And God said, tell him the I am. I'm with you. Real cool. Almost like I talked about fear a few weeks ago, how my daddy was like, oh, God didn't give you that. Real cool. God just come real cool, real calm. I'll be with you. And Moses said, all right. And the rest is history. But in that moment, Moses believed how God saw him. Because he was worried about the murder he had committed. He was worried about the fact that he went and hid for 40 years. He was worried about the fact that he was even given to, the story of Moses is a beautiful one. But he had imposter syndrome too. So it's been happening since the beginning of time. But if you believe that the I am sent you, walk in your calling, walk in your purpose. The world needs doctors. The world needs farmers. The world needs nurses. The world needs doulas. We all need something and all need help. And each and every one of us has a gift to help each and every one of us. It's the way God created it to be. And I know I'm talking about God a lot. I didn't think I would talk about God this episode. But imposter syndrome is rooted to me in not knowing who you are, which is a normal human response to greater. When the responsibility becomes more, people don't talk about that often, how the pressure, the stress and the anxiety that comes with your yes. And sometimes I use the visual, because I'm very visual. I can see myself climbing up a mountain, getting to the top of that mountain, and looking down like, oh, I did that. And then God shows me a whole nother mountain that I'm about to climb. And in that state, sometimes energetically, I drop very low, forgetting the mountain that I just came up. And understanding that that's not the only mountain I came up. There's about 10 more that I came up. And I'm looking down at them, meaning I've conquered 10 mountains, and I'm about to conquer 10 more. But those 10 more that I'm looking up, you got to take it a mountain at a time, baby. Take a breath. And because you're at the top of one mountain, you're at the bottom of another one, and you will have the strength to conquer that one as well. If you don't let imposter syndrome consume you, you'll look up and go, if I could do this one, I could do another one. Not because everybody's up there, I'm not qualified to be up there. Go. Keep pushing. You're where you're supposed to be, okay? Once you understand that God will be with you, even if you don't believe in God, your higher power is with you at all times. You know that there's something outside of yourself moving and working for your good. Once you hear that voice, that I'll be with you through it all. You're going to make it. You cannot fail no matter what. All of your weaknesses, false inabilities, disabilities, past failures, all of that stuff is answered in that. I love you, God says, and I sent you no matter what you've done. The purpose is still the purpose. The call is still the call, and it will be fulfilled. So stop telling yourself you don't belong. You do belong. You do belong. Nothing else matters once you are confident within the fact that you're called and chosen for this, for the purpose. Nothing else matters. Well, you could look up at God and be like, you really called me for this. And you finally connect to the fact that you are called, that you are chosen, that you are the one that will break the generational curses in your family. You are the one that will graduate from college. You are the one that will start that business. You are the first millionaire that your family will see. You are that. I am all things powerful. I am the change for my family, for my future, for my child, for my everything. I am. When Moses asked, who I say sent me? I am sent me. That's who sent me. And you start telling people that when you're on stage and people have way more degrees than you and you're talking and their lives are changed and they say, where'd you come from? Who sent you? I am that I am. You're the only God that people will see. Show them love. Show up with love, peace, joy in spaces that you occupy. Show up as who you are, not as who you don't think you are. Because I'm telling you, that lies sound way stronger than the truth. Start writing those lists out of who you are. Don't let one of your failures disqualify you from becoming. You're becoming. You're practicing what you preach. You're not just talking, you're doing the work. You're finding classes, you're taking courses, you're getting qualified, you're getting credentials, you're doing everything you need to do to be in your position. And when you get those rewards, it's not because you didn't do the work, it's because you did. You put it in. Own it. Own it. Prioritize celebrating yourself and letting yourself know who you really, really are. Take time to actually do that. If that's in the morning, before you go to bed, before you actually hit the stage to give that speech, before you actually start the class to guide people in meditation, before you actually have a client session as life coaches, start saying things that are opposite of what you're hearing. I am a leader. I am the boss. I am in charge of my own destiny. I am wealthy. I am a business owner. I am a creative. I am good with people. People trust me. I am great with money. I am. Just start living in the I am. Okay? You guys have to stand in that. Start owning who you are. It doesn't matter the age. It doesn't matter if you're starting at 50. It doesn't matter if you're starting at 13. And the sooner, the better. Start owning who you are. Where do you find your ease? Where do you flow naturally? Where can you start to become better? What parts of you can you change and become better at? Those are all the questions that you ask yourself. If you suffer from imposter syndrome, I dare you today to just start writing down the truth and start saying the truth to yourself. You're qualified. I am qualified for this. I am qualified for this. And guess what? Even if you get in there, act like you know. Don't get up on that stage and embarrass us. Act like you know, because you know. You know what you're doing. You got this. And even when you don't know, favor and God will show up on your behalf and you'll surprise yourself. And God will start downloading information that'll be helpful for you and the people listening. I'm telling you, gird up your loins. I say that often too. Be strong and believe that you were created to thrive. To my friend with the salon, you're going to be greater than any hairstylist that you could even think is great. You're the greatest. To my painters, your art will sell millions of dollars. To my singers, your music go around the world. To my doctors and my nurses that are going to school for years and years and years, keep going. And when you get in that nursing, and when you get in that hospital and you're caring for people, show up with love and compassion. Be different. Be the I am. I am love. I am peace. I am joy. So when those patients see you, they know they're getting the best care. So today we are killing the imposter syndrome. And the more that you celebrate yourself, the more that you show up for yourself, the more silent the voice becomes. Okay? So please be encouraged, y'all. Stay the course. Don't allow your doubts to disqualify you from the race, because they don't. They don't. Even David, he killed the whole Goliath. Come on, I could do Bible stories all day. There's so many people who doubted God and doubted their abilities that he gave them, and he only sent the word, go. Don't look at their faces. Say what I said. Say that I am sent you. So when you're feeling it, I am great. I am this. I am a child of God. I am created in this image. I can't fail. And that's what my pastor always said, that Sonny Badu always says, there is no way you can fail when you chose God. It's just not. There's no way. Steps are ordered. It doesn't mean that you won't experience hardship. It just means you have help through it when you say yes to God. You're guaranteed help through it. And if you don't lean on that help, that's on you. You got to choose. So are you going to choose to listen to I don't belong here, or God put me here? And I'm going to choose that God put me here. I am that I am. I'm everything that he said I am. I see myself as he sees me. So if you even need to say that to yourself today, I am where I'm supposed to be. I am where I'm supposed to be. I am on the right path. I belong in rooms bigger than I can imagine. I am preparing for those rooms. I am called to be greater. The world is my stage. I am protected. I am loved. And I am guided by the Most High. And that's what you say when imposter syndrome shows up. Ground yourself in what's real. You're powerful, baby. Don't forget it. I really hope this helps somebody today. And I'm going to come back again, probably a few months later, to drop this again, because there's so much information that happens in real life, in real time, that I'm going to have to bring to you guys. But today, do not listen to that voice. Silence it with the real truth of who you are. A champion, a winner, a boss. Okay? So I hope this helped you. Make sure you subscribe and tune in to the next Moment with Joy. Thank you guys so much. Peace.